Well, hello there, you amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. I don't know what day it is. I think it's Tuesday. I'm in holiday mode, what can I say? And it's making me not know what day of the week it is because normally I'm a real good reference for what day of the week it is. You know this. Anyway, you're looking absolutely amazing, I must add. And I hope you're having a fantastic whatever day it is. Tuesday, Wednesday, one of them. I don't think it's a midweek hump yet, is it? Anyway, I better get straight into the meat and potatoes as we're heading back to Jay Slater. We did speak about him this morning, and the glasses scenario still continuing. They're apparently, well, I think the family have actually come out. I've been told that they've come out and said that they're not his glasses, which I think the vast majority of us didn't think they were. But anyway, I digress. We now see that it's the property that was rented that now seems to be the focus of the investigation, as a few hours ago people were seen in forensic suits entering that property. So we have a look at the report quickly before we just touch on his friends. So 2 police officers have today been seen inside the holiday rental apartment where missing Jay Slater stayed the night before his disappearance. Now, I must say that I feel this is a little bit like closing the stable door after the horse has bolted. This should have been done at the very, very start. Alongside what should have been done is all of the people who had gone out there with Jay or had interacted with Jay had something to do with him. Some form of communication should have been hauled in and been grilled like a piece of T-bone steak. But look, there we go. We'll come back to that. Stick a pin in it. The men, who were both wearing plain clothes, exited the property in Masca shortly after 11 a.m. wearing forensic-style blue slip-ons over their shoes. They were seen taking the slip-ons off before speaking to a local who had let them into the property with a key. Approached the property... What's this shit? Approached at the property before driving off in an orange-coloured Kia Sportage SUV. One of the men said, "I'm not authorised to talk to you. I've been inside. If you want any information, speak to the press office in Santa Cruz." Jay from Oswald Whistle, Lancashire, was seen leaving the whitewashed home named Casa Abuela Tina at around 8 a.m. on June 17th. He had been partying at the Papagayo nightclub in Playa del Americas before leaving the event with 2 British men. That's the NRG Festival, which is an abbreviation of Energy. For those of you who I know were confused over the name, it says, before leaving the event with 2 British men to go back to the property which they had rented. It is more than 20 miles and an 11 hours walk from the Los Cristianos apartment where Jay had been staying with close pals Lucy Law, 18, and Brad Hargreaves, 19. Jay posted a photograph of himself holding a cigarette outside the Holiday Rentals main door early on Monday morning, and then at 8:30 a.m. he called Lucy to say he was in the middle of nowhere trying to get home with no water and 1% on his phone battery. Police have said the 2 British men, who it is understood were spoken to by Spanish police before flying back to the UK days after Jay's disappearance, have no relevance to the investigation. So let's just come back here, because what I will say is, what am I doing? I'm moving the entire screen. In the absence, let's get that right, in the absence of an answer, a conclusion, finding Jay, how can you with any confidence say that specific people are not involved? Now, these are 2 people who were apparently connected to Lucy, the girl. So, I don't know what truthful facts there are behind that, but that was reported. Now, don't get me wrong, most of these media corporations, we can't trust them as far as we could throw them, but it was stated that the men were known to Lucy. They were associates of, I believe, was the phrase that they absolutely said. I'll see if I can find it and put it up on the screen for you. Now, Jay's missing. Now, some people have said he was a smart guy. No, he weren't. He was a fucking idiot. I hope the fucking idiot gets found. I don't want any harm to come to him, but let's put it this way. This is seemingly going to go in one of 2 directions, and that is that we've got a Riley Strange situation. This was a boy who went out, got up to his nuts in drink and couldn't handle it, thought that he would be able to walk back to this rural property which that rural property, in my opinion, is a fucking weird one, unless it was cheap as chips. But, around these sort of areas, you can get cheap stuff. You know what I mean? They're cheap enough. This property and the location of it doesn't, to me, reek of a property where young men or middle-aged men would rent out when they want to go partying and boozing up in the main areas. Do you know what I mean? This is an out-of-the-way rural property, which is it's the sort of place that you'd see deals being done. I'm not trying to say that anything's been done. The property, to me, seems a little bit off. Now, the fact of the matter is, if we come away from Jay just was a fucking idiot and he's gone and come into bother because he didn't have any drink, his fucking phone battery was flat, and the rest is history, and he's succumbed to the elements, perhaps fallen and hurt himself, become injured, and the rest is history, then we have to go in another direction. And if you go in this other direction, I absolutely do not believe that you can completely break away the likes of Lucy and is it Brad and these other guys as knowing something. Now, they don't necessarily even have to have done anything, but do they know something? Do they know something in terms of what was going on out there, and the fact that whatever was going on out there could have led to bother? Because at the end of the day, you've got a bunch of people who are not going to admit to perhaps doing anything nefarious that could have then led to this, because then they would be put under the spotlight then. Do you know what I mean? So you went over there to what? Sell something, do something, do you know what I mean? Want to be gangsters. I'm just covering all bases. I am covering all bases because they're the only two scenarios here. And there is evidence to support both. And that evidence is that Jay seemingly was an idiot. And idiots do idiotic things. Again, look at the Riley Strain situation. I'm not saying Riley Strain was an idiot, but he was clearly smashed off his noodle and had fallen into the water. Now, will we ever know if someone helped him into the water? We don't know that. We don't know. We could say the same for the Nicola Bully case. It's exactly the same scenario. If someone falls into water, there's two things. That is either fall in or they're helped in. But the determining what one of those is accurate is almost impossible if there's no witnesses, no nothing, and the only evidence you've got seems to support, like in Riley Strain's situation, that he was obliterated. He was an accident waiting to happen. And in this scenario, we've got a guy who's proven to be an idiot in an idiotic situation. But then on the flip side of that coin, we've also got elements of the party and the rural place where this property was that don't go hand in hand. I went abroad, I went to Spain, I went to Ibiza when I was younger. We didn't fucking see what the furthest away property was that we could rent in the arse end of fucking beyond. We was smack bang in the middle of it, and they're cheap as chips. Absolutely cheap as chips, about 30 odd quid, and the boy can afford it, wearing his Moncler coats and his Ray-Ban glasses. They've got a few quid to pay 40 quid for a room. So why go to this property in the arse end of the back and beyond? Now, was something happening? Was there some deals being done? Was there something that they thought they were going to get involved in and it fucking went south? Let me know down below what you think, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.